Hey guys, Enzo Flojo here, and this is the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast, the only show that brings you the latest scoop on everything basketball here in the Philippines. Whether you're a diehard fan, a casual observer, or just looking for some good old-fashioned hoop talk, you've come to the right place. So whether you're a fan of the PBA, the UAAP, the NCAA, Gilas, or any other league in the Philippines, we've got you covered. And if you're just discovering the exciting world of Philippine basketball, we're here to guide you through every dunk, crossover, three-pointer, and controversial college transfer. So get ready to be entertained, informed, and inspired as we delve into the world of Philippine basketball. This is the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast. Let's talk some hoops. Hey guys, it's Flojo here, and this is the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast. This is episode 26 of our Mabuhay Basketball Podcast, and in this episode, we'll talk about our Gilas Women, how amazing they are, and how they absolutely just blew out, plastered, humiliated, embarrassed, and just practically ran roughshod over the Cambodian women's basketball team for the first assignment in the 2023 Southeast Asian Games women's 5-on-5 basketball tournament happening in Phnom Penh in Cambodia. And it was just an amazing performance from our Gilas Women. I have to admit, before the game, I was a little anxious because, again, Cambodia was parading an import-laden team. Nothing illegal with that, nothing illegitimate. They were following the rules. They were free to do that, and they did. They leveraged the rules to their advantage. Pero kadiri, diba? I mean, to see a Cambodian team with an import-laden roster where you only had, I mean, it's a different story, I guess, if most of them, or at least half of them, had Cambodian heritage for their main players. But the ladies that they played yesterday, I think 4 of the 5 ladies that were on the floor at almost any given time for most of the game for Cambodia were imports. Again, hindi bawal, no rules were broken. It's just, it's a bad look. Kadire, it's a bit of a farce. And honestly, it made the blowout win by Gilas Women all the more satisfying because of that context. For now, let's read an article that was written about that particular game. So this is a story from CNN Philippines, okay? Gilas Women crush Cambodia to open their SEA Games three-peat bid. Okay, let's see. That's Jack Animam, of course, and she was just absolutely amazing yesterday. She did, I'm sure that maybe there was a little bit of frustration on her part because she did miss a few shots here and there, but overall, in terms of providing a really, really solid inside presence, that just, her gravity in yesterday's game. And gravity is a term that a lot of coaches use to indicate, how much attention a player attracts on the court. And Jack Animam definitely had massive gravity yesterday as she attracted so much of the defensive attention from Cambodia. So Gilas Women opened their SEA Games three-peat bid with a 114-54 win over host nation Cambodia Wednesday at the Morodok Teko Stadium in Phnom Penh. Now, I didn't actually think that we would win by double digits. Remember that on day one, I think it was Malaysia that beat Cambodia, but it was a come-from-behind win from Malaysia. And that Malaysian team was practically the same team that beat Gilas Women last year, inflicted the only loss on Gilas Women in last year's SEA Games in Hanoi. So seeing our team beat Cambodia by not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40, not 50, but 60 points was very, very satisfying. Okay. Of course, Ella Fajardo led the Philippines with 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Cambodia relied almost solely on its naturalized players. They kept the game close for the first quarter. We led, I think, 16-8, and then Cambodia made a run. They took the lead for about a minute, I think, and then we retook the lead after that to close the quarter, and eventually we didn't look back more. So 4 other Gilas players scored in double figures. Jack Animam with 16 points, 9 rebounds. France Makabin Bin with 12 points. And Afil Bernardino and Camille Clarin, each scoring 11 points, as we can see here. Okay, we're going to look at their schedule for the next few days later on. But for now, again, let's look at the live stats from yesterday's big win over Cambodia. As you can see here, we won every single quarter in this particular game. Not surprising, our girls are really, really good. Like what we said, in terms of the box scores, Jack Anima was really impressive, almost a double-double for her. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ladies in double figures. Janine Pontejos is also pretty good. She hit 2 big triples in that first quarter run where we built up a pretty big lead. Ella Fajardo, very efficient. 50% from the field, 2 triples for her, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals for Ella Fajardo as well. Over the Cambodian side, you can see heavy minutes, not surprising, coming from their starting 5, especially their imports. You have Kimberly Hanlon, Megan Simmons, Brittany Dinkins, and of course Mariah Cooks. Each played at least 24 minutes. For Cooks, Cooks, of course, just, she's really tired. And I guess Cambodia as a team, after playing against Malaysia, I think they even went to overtime on day 1. Most of them were just really gassed yesterday. Their coach, Harry Savai, was actually thrown out in this game. I think first half pa lang yata, if I'm not mistaken, he was thrown out already, and he was just out-coached. Coach Pat Aquino was just too good, and his strategy of platoon substitution, full court pressure, non-stop wire to wire. He knew that Cambodia was tired from their first day game against Malaysia, and he pounced on that from the get-go. And the depth, the resistencia, the conditioning of our girls just really enabled them to eventually pull away and just absolutely win in lopsided fashion against Cambodia. It was an embarrassing loss for Cambodia, losing at home. Despite having 4 imports on their team, it was absolutely embarrassing. If they play this way again in the next few games, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose to Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia, and they won't make it on the podium. Right now, I'm almost certain they will not make it on the podium. So Ella Fajardo was really amazing yesterday, leading all scorers in that 60-point rout. Let's look at some interesting fan comments here. Sabi ni Zanshos Moonbay, karma is real. Ngayon yung men's Gilas naman. Dapat ganyan din ang gawin nila sa men's basketball team ng Cambodia para matauhan ang mga kumag. Alright, very interesting. Okay, well, a lot of Filipinos are, quite pissed because of what Cambodia did. Parang naisahan kasi tayo lahat, diba? But I mean, Cambodia is not the only team here with multiple naturalized players. We're gonna see Indonesia. They have 3 imports as well. They would have had 4 if Marquis Bolden had actually played. All right, so magaling si Fajardo, shooter. Wala bang pondo sa Cambodia para sa SEA Games? Bakit linoleum ang flooring ng basketball court? Tapos yung practice court, diba? Is an outdoor court pa? I mean, I want to understand the context of Cambodia. They're not a very rich country, so definitely the facilities are still emerging in terms of their sports facilities. But still, having a linoleum or Tyraflex/linoleum flooring for a regional basketball event, it's just not acceptable. And I hope eventually the SEA Games Federation, with the oversight of the IOC and OCA, will take some sort of action on that. Right? Let's take a look at the team standings right now. So for women's, the Philippines is at 4th. Don't panic because we've played just 1 game pala. Okay? Malaysia is on top. They've gone 2-0. Indonesia 2-0. Thailand is 1-1. Cambodia is at 0-2. I think they're going to lose to every single one of these top teams right here. So I actually even think they're going to lose to Vietnam. So I don't think Cambodia will finish on the podium in the women's side. So Indonesia's been very good. They beat Vietnam by 5 points on day 1. Yesterday, they beat Thailand by 1 point as well. So Kim Pierre-Louise just doing really, really well for Indonesia so far, leading them in scoring and rebounding. She had a monster double-double, 30 points, 15 rebounds. Cambodia, of course, losing to the Philippines. Today, the Philippines will face Singapore, so that should be, it should not be a threatening game for Gilas Women. But after that, as you can see, it's going to be a gauntlet for us. Now, Indonesia on May 12, followed by Vietnam, Thailand on May 14. I'm going to finish everything against Malaysia on May 15. So today's game against Singapore at 3 p.m. is probably going to be our last quote-unquote easy game. No coach wants to call any game easy, of course, but for the sake of argument, today's game against Singapore will be our last easy game, and then it's 4 straight tough games, starting with Indonesia, and then Vietnam, and then Thailand, and then Malaysia afterwards. I think if we beat Indonesia, we'll be in good shape to finish on the podium, and then eventually, if we continue to sweep our other games, especially the last one against Malaysia, we should be in good shape for the three-peat. Over the men's side have a game today, 5 p.m. against Cambodia. That makes me a little bit anxious also, because Cambodia, for the men's team, they're definitely going to be stronger, more physical, and their coach is a men's coach, so he's probably going to be more attuned to how, in terms of the pace of the game, sa pagbalasa ng players niya. He has 3 imports on the men's side with 3 Cambodian Americans, based on the reports we've seen and heard. In terms of size, Cambodia is going to be a little bigger than the Philippines, but we can match up with size. You have Christian Hardinger, Brandon Rosser, Mason Amos, Michael Phillips are pretty good on that end. I just hope that our 3-point shooting clicks. I hope Justin Brown is healthy and is able to score a lot. I'm expecting Cambodia to play all their imports and all their Cambodian Americans here in this game. I expect us to play all 12 of our players here. I think the Philippines should be favored, but Cambodia is going to be a big threat here. And, whoever wins this is going to be first place in the group. And that means we'll probably avoid Indonesia in the crossover knockout semifinals. So I think the winner between the Philippines and Cambodia here is going to be very crucial and critical in terms of setting ourselves up for success in the semifinals and beyond. All right, so there you go. Now, in our next episode, we're gonna have a quick reaction to that game between Gilas and Cambodia for the men's side, and look ahead to Gilas Women as well. If you like this topic, then you should like our future topics and discussions as well. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, hit the bell icon as well. Share with your friends and all the basketball fans you know. As always, we're going to spotlight fan comments and fan insights. We value what you guys think. Our next episode drops tomorrow. Watch out for that. Mabuhay ang Philippine basketball. Mabuhay tayong lahat.
Again, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed creating it. So don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, feel free to leave a comment because we love that engagement. And who knows, maybe your comment might be featured next. You can also read my stuff on clutchpoints.com, Tiebreaker Times, and of course, FIBA.basketball. Follow me on Twitter at HoopNut or Instagram at TheHoopNut for more content and updates. Until next time, keep betting on yourself, shooting your shot, and seizing the moment. Mabuhay ang Philippine basketball.